You, just like other people, will look at my hair and you will say, "Oh, your hair is so beautiful. It's lovely. Are those sister locks? I love those. How long have you had those locks?" You'll be those people that say the same thing. And you'll say, "Gosh, and yours don't have any lint." And that's when I'll say, wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me tell you something. I have lint. You have lint if you have locks, whether they are traditional locks, freeform locks, sister locks, micro locks. Look closely. You see how nice they look? You don't see any lint, really. And if you caught a speck or two, it's just a little. You don't see much, right? But that doesn't mean it's not there. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. You have lint, baby. You have lint. Okay? And if you don't want it to look like you can see it from a mile away, you got to be on top of this stuff, baby. You got to wage the lint battle day in and day out. It is relentless, but it is worth it, because in order for me to have locks like this, and there's tons of lint still in here, but you may not be able to see it. I can see it. And that's what I'm going to talk to you today. But in order for you to have it like this, where it doesn't look like you see lint everywhere, what's that? Oh, hell. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got to do some work, okay, if you don't want it to look crazy. But anyway, look at that. You see that? It's got to come out of there. So this is what we're getting ready to dig into, everybody. If you have a pair of these, go get them now. If you don't have them, put this video in your replay list or your favorites or whatever it is they call it here on YouTube, and go get you some. I got these from Walmart. That's the part I don't like, is when I lose a lock that I'm supposed to be working on. I usually will put them in my mouth. Here we go. I usually kind of hold them like that if I'm driving down the street and I see some lint. Y'all know I get to be a little OCD. But you need some of these. These are the pointy ones. These are the ones that jeopardize the integrity of your lock. But get the lint out. You can get the flat ones too, for lint on the surface and lint that's not too embedded. I'm going to give you a few different options of what you can do if you don't want to use the really, really sharp ones. But I don't mind taking the risk. I've paid the price, and we'll talk about that too. So hang on. I tend to be careful about speaking in absolutes, because I'm open-minded and I recognize things can always change. So this is not to say that I may not be wrong, but right now in this particular part of my journey, this is what I believe. You have lint. Baby, you have lint. I don't care if they told you that you don't have lint. I don't care if you can't visually see the lint at this point. Because when we're in denial, there are a lot of things we don't see, right? You could be in the worst possible relationship with your lover or your spouse ever and be in denial and not recognize it until you start really taking a look at it, right? Because not until we shine the light of awareness on something do we actually see it, right? What we focus on starts to expand, and it starts to self-justify as we start looking at it. So this is what I'm saying to you. Okay, this is from, we got to finish this. So you have lint. You might not be able to see it yet, but it's there. And if you don't believe me, take out one of your locks, up maybe 2/3 of the lock. You can always go back and you can close it back up. You can plait it back up. It'll lock. If you don't want to go up that far, start taking some of it out. And I guarantee you, before you realize it, you're going to stumble upon what? What? And the lint goes on. Just like my love everlasting. The lint is there. So that's something you got to admit, because knowing is half the battle, right? And with this lint thing, knowing really is half the battle. Because if you start to pay attention to it, you can start to catch it. You also have to accept the reality that lint is not just about something on your pillowcase or something on your towel or your clothes rubbing up against your hair, friction. That's not what lint is entirely about. Lint is about living. Anything that has life is attracting stuff to it, it's shedding stuff, it's renewing, it's being rebirthed, it's having to interact with this environment, right? Well, your hair is the same way. It's drawing particles that are in creation, dust particles, oil particles, all kinds of stuff. It's drawing this all the time. So it's natural that it's going to fall in particles on you the same way you pick up your clothes and you shake them out after you got them out of the dryer, and then again after you get them out of the closet. If you were to stand in a certain at a certain angle while you were shaking the clothes out, you would see particles start to drop, right? It's the same thing. If you still are hardcore in denial about this, go sit your butt out in your car on a beautiful sunny day. Okay, what is that saying? Well, what doesn't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse, but things are always clearer in the light of day, right? Literally, go out into the light of day. Sit in your car because you need a container and start doing like this. You'll be surprised, or you can see it right now because I'm in front of this light. Oh my goodness. Listen, baby, you'll be surprised of what is coming out of this hair. And you can't see any of it, but it's going to keep collecting. Like attracts like. So more of those particles are going to attract more of their brothers and sisters, and they're going to attract the extended family. And before you know it, they're going to be having a family reunion in your hair, unbeknownst to you, because you might be in denial. So do yourself a favor. Get one of these. I keep one in the bathroom, I keep one in my purse, and I keep one in the car. Why? Because it's in the car that I see most of the lint. If I were to sit here in this house right now, in fact, to do this video, it's going to be more challenging for me to show you where the lint is. It would be easier if I were sitting in the car. When I'm sitting in the car, at the light, or in a parking lot somewhere, and I look down, I'm like, oh my goodness, what the hell? That's putting it mildly. What the hell? Look at that. I don't even think I have the speaker hooked up. Hold on. Okay, so hopefully that's better. So baby, it's there. You just got to start looking for it. When you're outside, like I said, it's a lot more evident. You're going to see a lot more of it. So be patient with this journey. You have got to do the work. You have to walk the walk. Ladies, we invested lots of money, some of you thousands, in these things. What does it take to maintain the lint? Even I, as OCD as I am, don't do it daily. I'm still trying to master doing this every day on a consistent basis. And a few other things that I've mentioned to you. Look at this. It's just crazy. And I'm wearing a black skirt and I can see the particles. So it's not going anywhere. Are you? You better not. You got to wage this battle. So you got to do some basic things they tell you to do. That's going to lessen it a little bit. But to me, that's not the bigger issue. The bigger issue is the stuff you're collecting throughout the day. Now, some of us collect more lint than others of us. I'm coming to some conclusions about that as well. If you're using oil particles, oil and things on your hair, it's a gray hair, that's one of my babies, on your hair, be sure that in between washes, when you do wash it, that you are, well, definitely in between washing, you want to be shaking. But make sure when you do wash it, you are washing it very, very well. You want to really be using the shampoo that's going to pull up things from the surface. People talk about clarifying shampoo, right? I use that stuff that I make, okay? You want to make sure that you're washing it really well. Now, you all already know I've been on this no oil thing, and I make the Miracle-Gro oil, which I miss, by the way, because my hair is not growing as fast. I'm going back to it soon. It is not growing as fast. I am never this far close to a retightening and not 2 fingers out. This is crazy. But if you're using oil on your hair, you have to be extra particular. And then don't use any more extra oil than you absolutely need. Why? because the more oil you use, the more stickiness, the more things attract and they get stuck, right? All right, so you got to find a place where you see the piece of cotton or whatever. And then you have to start picking. Now you all can see this, right? You're not going to be able to see it great. I need to be on that expensive Canon camera I bought a year ago that I've used 3 times. But it's tedious, so just be patient with me. So I got to start picking now. Here's the thing. Can you ever clean up something or purify something without there being any pain or you having to give up something? Heck no. Are you going to lose a little bit of your hair? Of course, but a lot of that's dead hair anyway. May you weaken the integrity of your strand if you are not patient. If you've let lint pile up and suddenly when you start looking at it, you realize it's so much and you're trying to get it out. Possibly, yes. Have I suffered tremendously over the years when I haven't been patient? Yes. Would my hair be a couple inches longer in certain areas, especially around the front where I see more lint? Probably. Could I have been more patient and done some other things? Yes. Like what? An ACV rinse, which I've only done one of those and it revealed so much. I don't want the trauma, PTSD. I'm just not ready for that yet. Although someone on the channel did bring that up. And I am going to try it again because I do need to use the ACV, but I'm just not ready. I'm almost starting to be comfortable living in the reality of denial that I'm better off than I used to be with my locks, and it's not as bad. So the last thing I need right now is a blow to my ego to find out it's ever worse once I do an ACV rinse. The other thing is you can loosen it up and then go wash it. Wash it one time, wash it a second time a couple weeks later, and let it start to come up to the surface. You don't have to do what I'm telling you, but once you get it up some, you loosen it up very gently, then you may find that you can sort of get it out like this, especially if it's kind of fluffy. And a lot of it is. Now, here's the other thing is once you start to pull the lint to the surface, you're going to see other lint. And it is a thankless battle, and it's a battle that is never over. So do just enough to make you comfortable, because you will not cease until you tear an entire lock if you are like me. Now, this is a big piece of lint. Now, mind you, I didn't see this in here. I saw it outside. It started outside because before I decided to do a video today, I was sitting out there picking lint, which I haven't done in a few weeks. I'm getting better. And then I said, why are you doing this when you need to do this on the channel? So you see what we're dealing with here, right? Can you see that? Imagine that times 600. I told you about my girlfriend Serena. She never used oil in her hair at all. And the lint was so bad. Oh my gosh, she cut off like 4 or 5 inches. And when you looked at it, it was everywhere. But she never saw it. She never paid attention to it. She would always didn't think she had lint until she started looking closer. And that's what I'm talking about. Closer. Closer, Clary. What do y'all think about the eyebrows? I got to do the video. These are permanent. You know, I did these the other day. Permanent as in a few years. I'm excited about it. I'm also excited about my book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece. Get it on Amazon. I got the ebook too, but I haven't uploaded it yet. I have a lot on my plate these days. Business is booming. So I just haven't had a chance to get it up, but I'm going to get it up soon. And I have a workbook coming out and a journal. Keep your eyes on that in the next month and a half. You guys know I'm all about connecting you to the vision of who you are and helping you live an extraordinary life. You're not ordinary. You never were. Even if you're living like somebody that's ordinary, you ain't ordinary. You're a spiritual being. Look at that. So this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for people that are weak. If you're going to cry because you lose a little bit of hair, don't do this. Okay, buyer beware. That was your disclaimer. All right, I can live with this. Now, when you're picking hair, you know, clearly picking cotton, if you do it down here, it's going to fall on another piece of hair, so you got to go back later and shake. I'm satisfied, but I still got this small little section right there. Y'all see that? I need to get that out. And so far, I haven't done anything that's going to cause a thinning of the lock And look at that. You see how that was right there on top? Because of the previous foundation I had laid. So here we go. All right, so you got to look at these bad boys. Some of it is going to be so embedded, it may not even be worth your aggravation to try to pull it out. What you can do is loosen it like this and then wash it later and let it come up over a period of time. The most important thing I want you to understand is that you are not immune to lint. Lint is not immune to you. Lint wants to get in your hair because your hair is comfortable. And where one piece of lint is, there are more pieces of lint. It's like roaches. Now look at that. You would normally not be able to see that. Now look at this. Once I pull this out, it's going to reveal other pieces. And that's the thing. The lint hides and it starts looking like part of your lock. And that's what makes you think you don't have it. But trust me, you do. And like I said, if you don't believe me, if you wanted me to make a believer out of you, go on and take a lock out. Especially when you see locks. Let me show you the ones that really will shock the crap out of you. You got a lock that's got fatness in it and it's uneven and it's just that lock that keeps trying to express itself like it's the rebel in your head. Inside that thing is some lint. Trust me. Inside of that is some lint. So with this pulling, you have to be careful. And I have to tell y'all the truth. I do this and sometimes I'm trying to get that lint, and I told y'all I have this obsession. Sometimes I don't care if I thin the lock out. And the thing is, there's lint all the way up the lock anyway. So what the hell is the point? But for me, it's a principle. It's the principle of the situation. Uh-oh, I heard that. That was not good. But hell, I can afford to lose an inch or two here, right? It ain't gonna hurt anybody. It's gonna make me feel better. At least I know I'm on a journey, right? So, like I said, everyone, you have lint. The best thing you can do is to take inventory of your head on a regular basis and be willing to really sit down for about 30-40 minutes every few weeks, 2 weeks ideally, and just work on the lint. If you keep up with it like that, y'all probably can't really see this, and some of y'all will think I'm crazy, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, because I think you crazy for not getting the lint out, because as far as I'm concerned, we paid a lot of money for these, and the last thing you want is to be sitting up a decade from now looking at the whole length of your hair has nothing but lint in it, because it's not going to stop coming down just because you're not getting it. Does the rain stop just because you don't have a bucket outside to use to gather the drinking water? No, it's going to keep coming down. It's going to keep coming down. And all that's going to happen is you're going to wake up one day. It's kind of like our weight. We keep cheating on the diet. We keep eating. And you don't really see the effects. And then one day you wake up and the scale is like +5 or +10. And you're like, when the hell? What the heck? When did this happen? So when you do like this sometimes without continuing to pick, it allows some of the lint to come up. You use your fingernails, you use whatever's at your disposal. Okay? All is fair in love and lint. And I'm serious about that. So I'm at a stopping place right now, not because I can afford to stop. Back here in this area, for all of you who say I don't have lint, just right back here, baby. Look in this area. This is the worst possible area where you will have lint. Okay, I'm going to put a picture of my book up here for y'all, for those of you who love this channel. You love this channel because you like my energy. Something in me resonates with that beautiful part of you, which means my book will certainly resonate with you. I'm going to get it. Hold on.